Hello everyone!
And welcome to Compassionate Communication. My name is Sam Gray.
And my name is Kayla Reed.
And we are graduate student speech and language pathologists here at Midwestern University in Glendale, Arizona. And this is a video series for our capstone project.
Many students in public schools have different types of disabilities and support needs. However, teachers and paraeducators often don't have enough resources to help them understand and support all types of communication, including nonverbal ways that kids may express themselves. There are few proven research-based tools and training programs that help teachers and school staff use neurodivergent friendly practices in the classroom.
To best support these students, educators need to learn a variety of communication skills and strategies. We have developed 6 easy-to-understand videos that aim to answer all the questions you may have about working with neurodivergent students and the resources to help you support them. Let's jump into video 4, Managing Behaviors and Discipline in the Classroom Setting. Let's start with a key question. Are certain behaviors a sign of defiance, or are they just part of a person's neurodivergent profile? Students with conditions like ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, or other executive functioning differences may appear oppositional, inattentive, or impulsive, but these behaviors are often neurological and not intentional. For example, a student with autism spectrum disorder may avoid eye contact or walk away during group work, not to be disrespectful, but because of sensory overload or difficulty with social processing. A student with ADHD might blurt out answers or leave their seat more frequently than others, not because they refuse to follow the rules, but because impulse control systems aren't fully developed. So how do we, as professionals, teachers, therapists, and others, set expectations without triggering anxiety or shutdowns in our neurodivergent learners? First thing you can do is make the expectations visual, consistent, and predictable. Auditory-only instructions easily get lost for students with processing challenges. It can be beneficial to post visual rules, use a consistent and predictable daily schedule, offer step-by-step breakdowns of multi-part tasks. This reduces anxiety and supports children to help them use the executive functioning skills that they have already gained. Keep in mind that your tone matters. Avoid sarcasm, raised voices, or ambiguous language. Neurodivergent students may interpret things differently. It's important to keep communication clear and calm. A strategy that is often helpful is using when-then phrasing. When you finish writing, then you choose a quiet break. This technique sequences and provides positive reinforcement rather than focusing on control. Providing a visual alongside this can be useful as well.
Let's talk about discipline. Traditional consequences like timeouts, loss of recess, detention often miss the mark with neurodivergent needs. These methods assume that the student had deliberate intent with their behavior and that shame will deter them next time. But if the student-specific behavior is due to unmet regulatory needs or communication needs, punishment doesn't teach them the skills that they're missing. Instead, we focus on restorative practices and collaboration problem solving. That means asking, what happened? What were you feeling? What do you need to do differently next time? This problem solving can be a conversation, a social story, or something that works for the specific child, such as providing pictures of faces with different emotions if they are unable to verbalize in the moment. And sometimes the answer isn't a consequence, it's a support. Maybe they are seeking sensory breaks, communication tools, or movement is needed to be built into the routine. Here is an example. A student keeps walking out of music class, or in grander terms, eloping. Instead of punishment, the team recognized that the volume of the classroom was too overwhelming for the student. They offered noise-reducing headphones to help with the volume and a visual timer so that the student could know how much time was left in the class, and then the behavior stopped.
Now let's shift to a proactive mindset. What supports help neurodivergent students succeed in behavior and learning? Think scaffolding, not softening. We don't lower expectations, we build bridges to help our students meet them. Consider using some of the following strategies. Visual schedules, flexible seating or movement breaks, social narratives or scripts for common scenarios, having an environment such as a calm down kit or an emotion chart. We're not looking to excuse behavior, we're teaching regulation. Just like we teach language, reading, or math, we can teach executive functioning and social emotional skills too. And this is not something that you're doing alone. Supporting neurodivergent students takes a team-based approach, including general educators, special educators, OTs, counselors, and of course your SLPs. OTs in particular can be helpful and provide amazing support for students with self-regulation difficulties. As SLPs, we often work on the communication behind the behavior, whether it's limited expressive language, trouble understanding the direction, or navigating social interaction. And we will talk more about that in our next video.
We have these helpful handouts and more amazing resources linked on our website, compassionate-communications.org.
Now that we have covered behavior management and how to implement discipline strategies, our next video will break down how to balance the classroom climate and manage your peer relationships.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in our next video.